Hello, this is Simon for Lightwave 3D, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be rigging and animating this Star Wars ATST. So within this tutorial we're going to prep the model ready for rigging. We're going to rig it with the Rhiggit Bodybuilder, and after that we're going to just get a walk cycle going with Steppit. So if you want to grab this model, head over to sci-fi3d.com, and there's the Ultimate Vehicles pack for Star Wars. That's got everything you'd need to be grabbing and animating yourself. So that's what we're going to be using. Okay, so let's just head to Modeler, and you can see this is the object that I've downloaded, and it's got all the pieces separated, which is quite handy for the weight mapping. So we're just going to go through, and I'm just going to select anything that's going to be on the same layer, and I'm going to cut that and then paste. Okay, the neck, that can go in the base, and then it's just the leg parts that are separate, which is great for weight mapping. So I'm just going to go through and create these weight maps. So that's the base at 100%. Let's just go into weight shade, cockpit, %. So I'll just pause the video, I'll go through and create these weight maps, and I'll be back with you. Okay, so I've gone through and created all my weight maps for the different layers. So all we're going to do now is just cut all of those out, paste into the first layer, same for the cockpit, and then we'll just rename that layer ATST. Okay, so we've got all our maps set up, and we'll now just send that over to the layout. I'm just going to clear the scene, just to get rid of all these nulls, and send that over again. We've got a nice clean mesh. So we're going to start rigging this now, and it's very, very simple with Rhiggit. Select the Rhiggit tab and then Bodybuilder. I'm just going to type ATST in there, and we'll keep that at nulls and deforms. You can see there it's created the master, and there's a root node for the hips as well. So if I wasn't using Steppit and I was just going to animate this by hand, I would probably look at adding 2 legs, a pair of legs, and then attach a head to that, and then just rig it that way. But unfortunately the Steppit needs the full humanoid. It's designed for a humanoid character, so this is a bit of an exception. So you have to use the standard preset here. The basic or any of these at this stage won't work, so we'll just stick with the humanoid. So we'll start with the humanoid standard, and we'll hit create rig, and that's just going to go through all the scripts now and create the different parts of the humanoid rig. Okay, our rig is built, as we can see in the message down here. So I'm going to just start moving some of these parts around. I'm going to go into bounding box mode so we can see what we're using. So essentially for the head, I'm going to use this spline here. Select all of these by hand. I think that's going to be the way. There's lots of extra controls in there. Just grab these. Hopefully that should be it. And we'll move those upwards. Okay. They're out of the way now, so let's have a look at that. Yep, that works. So now we're going to start placing the joints. Very, very easy because there's a mirrored system in here. So if I move the left leg, the right leg follows, so that makes things so much easier. So I'm just going to go in the front view, align that to my leg, side view. So I've shaded solid on here's wireframe so we can see where the joints are. I'm just going to align that with that leg joint and press the down arrow, and now we can just place this one. That's the knee, ankle, foot, and then the foot base. Okay, so you can see there that's done both sets of legs there, which makes it really nice tool to use. So now we've got to start placing these nodes inside here. So first it's the heel. I'm just cycling through my arrow keys to do this. That's the heel, the football, that's the inner edge of the foot. So we'll just come around here. It's the outer edge and the toes tip. I'm just going to go to the front of this main foot mesh. I think probably this is designed so these little toes animate in and out, but we're not going to do anything with that. Then I'm going to take this spine one and just paste that or move it into the position where I want that to animate. Then let's just have a look where this base is here. That one, I might make that straight. That's going to be our base. We'll make our root here. And that should be it, I think. So let's hit rig fit. Okay, so our ATST is rigged. You see here, if I grab the feet, we've got an IK set up here, which is brilliant. But obviously we've got to go through and just do a bit of housekeeping, assign the weight maps to the different bones, and hide anything we don't need. So I am just going to select this bone, and I'm going to shift, middle click and drag over these. Okay, and then open the scene editor, selection, highlight viewport selection, and we're just going to turn those off. We're going to hide those and we'll turn them off as well. Okay, then I'm just going to shift, middle click and drag. I'm going to select all of these, all those controls, and I'm going to selection, highlight viewport selection, and I'm going to hide those. Okay, now everything's still there, but obviously it's just out the way and tidied up. So let's just go through and assign some weight maps now. That is going to be our cockpit. That will be base. These hip bones, I'm just going to turn those off. We'll go left thigh, left shin, left ankle, and left foot. And we'll do the same on the other side. Right thigh, right shin, right ankle, and right foot. So hopefully now, so you can see everything's working. We've got our IK system here. Look at that, beautiful. I'll just check the head. Yeah, lovely. Okay, so now we've got that, we can have a go at animating. So I'm just going to hide these lights to start with. Tidy our scene slightly. There we go. Right, for animation using Steppit, we need a ground plane, so I'm just going to model one 10 by 10, and then we'll move that just down here. Then I'm going to select my main route, come to the end of my timeline, and I'm just going to do something like that. Okay, so we've got our route moving from A to B. Now we just start Steppit, which is under the Rhiggit tab, and I'm going to select my ground plane. Okay, and I'm just going to raycast my foot placement. It really is as simple as that. And now click the go button. You can see there it's created these controls for all the upper body, so it's important that stuff was there, otherwise this just wouldn't work. So you can see there now, look, we've got a lovely walk cycle with very little work indeed. We can tweak this as well. We can have a bit of hip sway. We could have a bit of hip bounce. You know, let's just try a couple of things out. It's really helpful for making on the fly tweaks and not actually having to animate anything yourself. I mean, it's an absolutely superb tool for that, especially for background characters and things where all you need is a nice walk for something. As a filler thing, this is absolutely great. So, you know, if we're happy with that, we can come in and we can look at Picket, and if we click the Steppit tab, select the foot, and you can see there those are the keyframes, so you can actually animate those as you will. So that's really useful to have as well. So we've got our animation, and let's just animate this head now, just to give a bit of something a bit more natural. Pop in some keyframes. Something like that. As you can see, pixel quality. And we'll just have it go back round. I mean, maybe that hip sway is a bit too much, so let's just have a look in Steppit. Let's just make that 10. We can hit go again, and that will tweak all of those keyframes. This takes a moment because there's a lot of scripts to run through. That's better, that looks pretty good now. So yeah, from rigging to animation in just a few minutes, really impressive tool.